Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of our podcast. I'm Gail.
And I'm Russell. How's everyone today?
Good,
Nice.
Russell. We're going to
Sound
talk about love and respect today.
Nice. Okay, good. Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. Okay, so what is love and respect?
Oh, have I got to answer that?
Ooh, that's fun, isn't it, if you ask that question? What is love and respect? Love and respect are very different inside the relationship. You can love your partner and be totally disrespecting them, and you can respect them and not love them. Both things can be true and both things happen inside of a relationship. So what actually does it mean to be in a relationship where you love and respect your partner?
When we talk about love and respect, we talk about it as the cornerstone of connection. Because without love and respect, you don't really have a healthy connection. You have an unhealthy connection. And it's important to cultivate a environment, a relationship, a way of relating that brings about respect. So if I'm not respecting her, then there won't be any love. Without the respect, there can't be love. And one of the problems that happens in a relationship, and we find a lot, is because we are different people with different personalities, different ways of going about the way we do things, when it comes to day-to-day life, money, looking after the kids, bedtime regimes,
all the comings and goings of pretty much everybody's the day lifestyle.
What happens is I have an opinion or a point of view or a rule,
or an idea, or story, or belief around how that should go or what should happen,
based on my upbringing, my experiences, my past. And when Gail doesn't behave in a way or do things in a way that match my, let's say, idea of how it should go, then I can get defensive and opinionated about that.
Yeah.
And try to change her to make her behave and act in line with what I think would be the right way.
Yeah, which essentially then puts you into a place where you're either triggered or you're defensive or you're not operating like an adult to an adult, two adults communicating in a relationship. Essentially, you're in defenses or you're triggered by something or some way of being. Yeah,
like I could go into parenting or into teacher mode or just into being right mode, where this is the way this is how you should look after children. This is how you should keep them safe. This is what you have to do to protect them. When that's really disrespectful to her and saying that she doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah, which essentially what you want to build inside your relationship is a space where both people can communicate and share, like, hey, this is what I'm thinking, how do you feel about that? Right? Versus like, this is what I'm doing and go suck an egg. Like,
and so I can't go into blaming her or this. It's really this having this opinion that I'm right and she's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't do it this way, the kids won't be looked after properly. That's no respect there for her ability or her way to do it. Now, she may or may not be better at it. I may or may not be better about it. Yeah. This is not a competition. Your relationship's not a competition to see who's better at one thing or worse at one thing. Your relationship is a teamwork effort where you work together to create the best environment for the relationship to thrive.
And you know what each other brings as well, right? Like, there's 3 layers of respect that happen inside of a relationship. One is that I have respect for myself. The other is that Russell has respect for himself. And then the third layer is that we have respect for the relationship entity, which is something we've created inside the relationship. And all of those things need to exist, just like with love, I need to love myself, Russell needs to love himself, and we need to love each other inside the relationship entity, which is a space of sacred love. Yeah. And coming together. And any one of those 3, which is 2 times because you've got love and respect, any one of those 6 can be out at any point in time. And we really want to start to notice, how are we operating inside of our intimate relationship? Are we operating where we love and respect our partner, or do we love them but we're disrespecting them all the time and maybe not even realizing that we're actually disrespecting them?
Yeah. I remember there was a time where I got upset about something that Gal had done and the way she was behaving, and I really struggled to learn to respect that because it didn't feel to me that
it didn't fit into your model or your map of how you make sense of the world, right?
Yeah.
We all have one of these. So there's things that like our partner do that they don't fit into like how we make sense of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's take, for example, the arguing, how you argue and how you have an argument.
Yeah.
So I think that when you have an argument, you should sort of stay on track, argue about one thing at a time. It's not funny.
It's so funny.
Argue about one thing at a time, not deviate from that thing and get that to the point of the end of the argument.
Which,
in
if
other
you're
words,
a man
find
listening,
a solution.
Yes, which if you're a man listening, you could totally systematically have an argument with Russell in that form. But if you're a woman listening, you're going, "Are you kidding me?" The moment the argument started, we're gonna bring in all the things and all the areas and all the different layers are gonna come in, and it's gonna be like this huge, massive like concoction of all of the things. And if you're another woman, we could, like, woman to woman, you could argue that way, and man to man, you could argue logically and systematically.
And if you do argue that way as a woman, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you do have to watch that you're not in your masculine state.
Yeah, for sure.
But certainly there are, I would say, more logical women than Gail. But that, how would you say it? That experience that I have, even from that comment I just made to you then, that experience I have that she's not logical is disrespectful. I'm disrespecting her in that statement, and if I say that and attach to it like it's real, then I'm not going to have respect for her. When the truth is, there are probably hundreds of thousands of different formulas and ways of arguing. Yeah. And it's not, nobody's ever said that every argument you have should, like, there's not a Bible on how to argue anyway. No. There's not you need to have a start point. Yeah, there's not a process. A middle point and a finish. A middle point and a finish. So we argue and it goes all over the place, which frustrates the shit out of me. Because I'm like, Jesus, and then it lasts way longer than it could have lasted. Yeah. And it actually gets much more heated than I was talking at the couples retreat last week, saying how we all have levels of conversation and argument. And I was saying how, like, my level of an argument, I'm at an 8 when Gal's not even touched the surface of a 2.
Oh yeah,
she's just
for me
chatting.
It probably just sounds like a loud discussion. It's not even an argument. I'm like, what are you even talking about? We're not arguing. What?
So the thing to get here is I have to respect that she is not me, and she does not argue the way I argue. Yeah. And so if I try to change that, I can certainly talk to her about it and have an adult conversation about it and say, what do you think of this? Yeah. And sometimes you need a mediator or a coach to get through some of these problems. But ultimately, what I need to understand here as a sign of respect for her, the relationship, and even for myself, is that my way of arguing is just my way of arguing. It's not the way of arguing. Yeah. And if I don't respect that, then I will quickly lose respect for her. Once I lose respect for her, then you can't have love in your relationship. You can't have love without respect. Yeah, well, and it's interesting, right? Because I was reading something recently, and it was like, love without respect is chaotic. Respect without love is empty. Yeah. Love and respect together, your relationship is a place where you can grow, heal, and evolve together. So it's like, where do you want to be? Do you want to be in a relationship that has love and no respect? Do you want to be in a relationship that has respect and no love? Well, that's just empty. The other one's chaotic. Well, if you had a choice between empty and chaotic, you wouldn't choose either of those, would you? You would want to be in a place where you can love and respect your partner, and you can grow and heal and evolve as a couple and as individuals together. In unity, and it becomes a beautiful place to exist and live in. And I think we can start like looking at like what are the ways in which people disrespect or don't. I think disrespect is the first one. We should start with disrespect themselves or the relationship, and go about operating either like even in single mode. Like if they're in a relationship and they're operating as if they're a single entity, and that might look like
booking yourself to go away somewhere or to an event.
Yeah, one of the things we've seen recently is somebody booking an event without
a discussion with their partner.
In.
Not even checking in. Oh my goodness.
And I used to have this experience myself with my friends when years ago, and they would say, "Do you want to play golf?" And I would say, "Well, I'm going to ask Gail."
Yeah.
And they would say, "Oh, you're under the thumb. You're being mothered. You don't have any. You're not making your own decisions." But that's not what that is. Like, to honour that I'm in a relationship with Gail means that when I'm asked to do something, I'm going to ask Gail how that sits for her. Yeah. I'm not going to say, "Babe, am I allowed to go and play golf?"
I think the distinction there as well is you're not coming to me and asking for permission.
No.
You're actually coming to me and going, "Hey, babe, do we actually have anything planned?" One, because I probably know our diary better than you do, and you know that. Two is like, does that actually work for us? We also have a family, so it's like, does that work for the family unit? Like, if I'm out, and golf is not like a 1 hour thing, it's like a 4 to 6 hour adventure, right? So it's like, does that actually
But it really
work?
Doesn't matter if it was a 1 hour thing. It
makes no difference.
It's whatever I get invited to and whatever she gets invited to, we're going to have a conversation about it, because we're in a partnership, a teamwork of a relating here.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, if you're in a business partnership with somebody and you're off making your own decisions and not talking to them, that's not you asking for permission, that's not you being mothered. That's you simply honouring the relationship of being in a business relationship.
Well, I think even the day-to-day things, even if you take it away from booking yourself to an event, and just like, if I'm popping up to the shops, I'm like, "Hey babe, I'm just going to pop up to the shops." Like, he could say, "Oh, actually, could you not?" I'm like, he could have a reason why it doesn't work right now. And sometimes there is like that's not going to work right now.
But look at that. If you say, like, "I'm going to the shops," and then say, and you don't say, and you just go, and you don't ask, "Do you want anything? Do you need anything? Do you want to come?"
That's disrespectful. It's like, I'm going to the shops. Like, what if he was like, "Oh man, I'm craving, like, I don't know, chocolate bar."
Yeah.
I
wish I'd have known you were going.
Creations, or like, I needed, or like, imagine if like he went to the shops and didn't say, "Hey babe, do you need me to pick up anything?" Russ doesn't often go to the grocery store, but like, if he was, like, and even when, I think that happened the other week, you're like, "Oh, I'm just going to grab the milk while I'm out. Is there anything else that we need?" Again, that's, I respect our relationship, I respect myself, I respect us, I respect the needs of the household, so I'm going to check in. And I think people just think that they, that's permission, or that they need to ask, or that, if I ask my wife for permission, and this is one we've heard often as well, well, it feels like she's mothering me, like she's telling me what I can and can't do. Okay, well, there's a problem right there, in that, like, if you feel that way, and if you feel the effect, you're part of the cause. One of you is in adult and one of you is in child, or maybe you're both actually in child, and that's why that dynamic is actually playing out. It's like, it's not permission or mothering for me to check in with Russell and just say, "Hey, like, this is what's happening. Like, are you all good?" Or even like, what was it the other week? Oh, I thought I was going to drop the kids off at an event, and then I was going to get to come home and hang out with Russell for the 2 hours that they were at this event, and then it actually was like I ended up having to stay. Well, that changes the game again. So it was like, "Hey, could you bring me up I think I asked him to bring me up a chai latte," right? Like, I'm not like, and like, "Oh, are you okay? Or did you want to swap it out?" Like, checking in to see how can we work together as a partnership, versus feeling like, it's inferred that, "Oh, well, he's home, he'll just take care of everything," or it's fine to just not communicate. And like, if like I could have not communicated and just stayed up there, and you would have been like, "Hey, where are you? Like, what's happening?" That's disrespectful not to actually send a message like, "Oops, didn't realize I had to stay at the kids event. So I'll be home in 2 hours." Like, he would assume that I was up there, but if I didn't communicate that, that's disrespectful. That's not a partnership.
I think even from the other side of that, I think it was actually, to be fair, I think I offered to bring you a chai latte.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I said, "Do you need anything?" I think I asked if you needed something. You said, "Maybe my water."
Yeah.
And I said, "Shall I bring you up a chai latte?"
Yeah.
And you said, "Yeah, that would be great." So
That's
even
awesome, actually, really, it felt really like I felt loved and taken care of. Like he loved and respected me enough to want to check in. Like, oh crap! Like, I thought I was going and dropping off, which is like a 5-10 minute fiasco, and now I'm having to stay for 2 hours. And it was like, do you need anything?
And I didn't do that because I feel obligated. I'm parenting or trying to make up for something. I did it out of respect. She's up there with our children and love. And she's up there with our children doing something for the kids. And now she's got to stay there for a couple of hours, which was fun.
It was fun
but,
again,
but I respect her and what she's doing for the family, and therefore I could do something to make it nicer for us. So I took her up a chai latte.
Yeah. I think even in day-to-day interactions as well, like that's an important one. Like if Russell's going to go out and listen to Hi-Fi for who knows how long, or even he's going to make his coffee, he'll ask like, hey, do you want some milk? Meaning, do I want a chai latte as well, or do I want anything? Or hey, I'm going to go and take some me time. And it's not like he's not saying like,
it's fine for me to say, hey babe, I'm feeling like I need some space, some time. I'm being responsible for communicating. I need to deregulate. I need to decompress.
Emotionally decompress. I think I said that. I said that the other day. I'm like, I need to emotionally decompress. I just need to take a minute. And I didn't know how long those minutes are. So he then goes like, yeah, no worries. Like, do you need anything? Do you want me to stay with you? Or are you just needing minutes to decompress? Kind of like if you're going to listen to your Hi-Fi and having a coffee, it's like, well, you know, he's checking in. He's not checking in because he can't go and do those things, but he loves and respects me, our relationship, and himself enough to go, what do I need? What does she need? What does the relationship need? And I think those are the three questions that people don't ask. It's like, what do I need? What do they need? And what do we need? And if you can actually start asking those questions, you will create a space where there's more love, respect, and togetherness, which is the connection that you build.
And I think then if you take that, you know, I need to go and, let's say golf, for example. I need to go and play golf with my friends.
I think you did say that recently when you wanted to go and hit golf balls, right?
Yeah.
Like I need to.
She needs to know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And the relationship needs to know what we're both up to, so the relationship works.
Yeah.
And so once you start to do that, you're not it's really the energy that people feel. You can either get into this idea that you're asking permission or not asking permission and just doing your own thing. Neither of those things are respect for the relationship.
No, and disrespect for self as well, right? Like if you're somebody who feels like you need to ask permission, you don't honor and love yourself enough to go like, what I want matters and has value. You're going like, oh, how do I tiptoe around this? Or how do I, you know, not even ask for the thing or not even say how long you want to be gone for, right? Like I think that happens often as well. We've heard that with clients. It's like one doesn't want to say like, oh, it's actually going to be a 4 or 5 hour event. Like I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be gone all night, or I don't know when I'm coming back, but I'm thinking it's at least this. And then the other person not realizing like, oh, well, how does that actually work, or won't it work? And will or won't work for the relationship or the family unit doesn't mean you don't go. It simply means that both people know like what they're up for.
And I think if you chunk down on that, if you like, the ultimate thing
go
is
deep, not wide. Isn't that what we're talking about?
Yeah, go deep, not wide. We're saying if you do that, then you have to understand that the key here is that you're two different people.
Yeah.
And you have two different ways of doing things, and both ways are valid. And when I see couples come to me, a lot of the times what they've got in their mind, and they obviously can justify and find reasons for it and evidence, because that's what we always do with anything we'd be right about. But what they create in their mind is they create a situation where they have proof for their way is right.
Yeah.
And then you lose respect for your partner, and then you lose love. And what it really takes is, we talk about leaving your post, but it really takes leaving your post and finding a way to respect that behavior in your partner.
Yeah.
And that's the real key here is, you know, Gail is a person who likes to see things better than they are. She is a person that sees things optimistically, and she sees things as a way of, you know, she can read something like recently, I don't know if we've spoken about it before on this podcast, but she recently read on Google where Canadians don't need a visa to go to Vietnam. And when she did that, she was happy about that and made her excited because she likes to see the best in something.
Yeah.
Now that in that instance, that cost us some money and some issues. We worked it out, but it did. But the point is there are lots of instances in our lives where Gail has looked at things through a rose-coloured lens, and that's cost us something, or cost me something. More likely, probably doesn't cost her anything because she just continues to look at it through a rose-coloured lens. Now, I could be very upset about that and say how she's wrong and it's not the right way of living and there's something wrong with you, but that's not going to forward anything in the relationship. And it would also dictate that you might say that I'm too I look at things, I want to see the reality in things too much.
Or you don't look at things at all.
Yeah.
In that instance, you hadn't even looked
at
it at all.
Yeah, I didn't even look at it at all. I left it all up to her. So it's no good me getting upset with the way she does it when I didn't take responsibility for it myself.
Yeah.
So if I can be respectful enough of myself to go responsible for what I'm not doing, and I can then see what she does, if I'm going to be respectful of her and the relationship, I might start to take a little bit more interest in that area. I go, okay, we're going away. We're going overseas. Let me check the visas.
Well, and I think that just happened now because we're going to Bali.
Yeah.
And we had the same conversation.
I had a deeper conversation with her because I've made a note about it.
Yeah.
And Gail, of course, has made a note of it as well. But we had a deeper conversation about it to ensure that we have the right visas this time and that our passports are in date.
Oh, yeah.
Because that also happened
that also
once.
happened once before as well.
And just can I share about just your thinking with that? It was like 2 days, right? Yeah. You looked at the passport and you went, oh, it's only 2 days out of 6 months. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because she likes to think that things are, I don't know, easier than they are, better than they are, more. You like to see things optimistically.
Yeah. And had we with the passports, had we left 2 days prior to when we actually left, it would have been in that 6 month window. You have to have 6 months on your passport for a lot of countries when you're traveling. And in my world, I'm like, it's 2 days. What is the big freaking deal? We're still coming back well and truly before the 6 month gap on the passport, but it didn't matter. Some countries are very stickler for it has to be from the date you depart 6 months. Other countries have super flexibility, so it's important to actually note that. You only learn that when you learn that.
So I'm a hyper vigilant person who's aware of a lot of stuff in my surroundings. If you go back to childhood or you go back to the type that I am, you'll see that there's a type of person who is sees the world as, say, more dangerous, more fearful. Gail doesn't see the world that way. No. You see the world as more, I don't know, fun. Adventurous. It's an adventure. Everything's an adventure. She looks out through a fun and adventurous eyes. I look out through a much more
fear.
Yeah, for fear. I mean, it doesn't feel so much like, but it is fear-based. Fear-based. The world is dangerous.
Yeah. What can go wrong?
Yeah. What can go fucking wrong? Perfect.
What can go wrong? Whereas I'm like, yeah, it's an adventure. We'll roll, right? And there still is an emotional impact with both sides, right? Yeah. With his and with mine. Right?
Neither of those are right.
Neither one's right. It's just the way that we operate and function.
They both give. One of them gives. I always like to look at things as not as right or wrong, not as positive and negative, but as one is. Both have resourceful parts and both have unresourceful parts.
Yeah, and I mean it's no different than when we talk about things being on the opposite end of the same stick, right? If you've got awesome and so bad on the it's still the same stick. Something can be amazing and awesome, and something can be bad and horrible on this end of it's the same stick, but somewhere in the middle is the balance. It's like the adventurer versus the fearful mind. That's still the same stick. It's just somewhere in the middle, and both of them have positive and negatives, and great things and things that work for us and things that don't work for us.
So find this in your relationship for yourself, or the way you do your relating for yourself.
Yeah.
If the kids are scooting, is that even a word? If the kids are scooting down the path, as they get faster, Gail is going to be saying,
"Slow down."
No. Other way.
Oh, I do say that though. I think that is an instance where I'd be like, ooh, slow down.
Well, you've ruined my example.
Oh, sorry. Keep going.
She will be saying, look how much fun they're having. Look how exciting it is for them.
Yeah.
Look how it's an adventure for them.
Yeah.
I'm going to be saying, what if they hurt themselves? What if they go too fast? Watch the road. And I'm going to notice the road before she notices the road. So what's going to happen is it's going to feel to me like she isn't paying enough attention to the dangers.
Yeah.
And because she doesn't pay enough attention to the dangers, I'm going to interpret that and say stop quicker than she is. In my mind, what's going to happen then is if I left it up to her, the kids would be in danger, which is ridiculous because she spends more time looking after the children than I do, and they don't get hurt any more with her than they do with me. They don't have any more danger with her than they do with me. So what we're saying is I have to be respectful of the way she does things.
Yeah.
And yes, there may be some areas where it might be better to do it my way, and there might be some where it might be better to do it her way. But I definitely would not have wanted to marry someone that came from a place of that fearfulness, if you like, that I come from. Yeah. That would be really kind of, boring and I don't know, make it hard, you know. So what I'm wanting you to maybe consider for yourself here is your way is not the right way. Yeah. It's not the only way, and if you hold on to your way being the right way, you will become controlling. You will become parental. Yeah. And you will become resentful.
And I think that is the point. Like, is you want to notice, are you being loving and respectful in your relationship, and where are you not? And I would suggest look for both things. Where are you being loving, and where are you being respectful, and where are you being disrespectful and like unkind or not loving? And not to make yourself wrong, but to create some awareness around it and go, okay, where's the gap? Do I feel like I'm mothering my partner? Do I feel like I'm asking for permission? Do I feel like I'm actually having a conversation as a adult child, or do I feel like we're both actually having a conversation where it's like, oh wow, I can actually hear your point of view? And I think it's important because there are things that you may want or desires that you have that you go like, I don't think my partner would ever do that. Like I heard a client the other day wanting to move to a different part of the world. Well, that's not like a flippant quick conversation, but you have to have a space where you can have that conversation. And I know Russell and I have definitely had that conversation because I wanted to move and live in Canada for a year. And it's not like a quick decision and that gets decided and it's a one conversation that gets built over time. Even where's even our trip home, right? Like a trip back to Canada this time around is like, it's a conversation. It's not this is just the way that it is and that's how it goes. It's like, what do we want to do? What's best for us? How's this going to work? Everything becomes a conversation and communication to create a space where we can actually respect each other's needs, wants, desires, and create the best way forward for us. And I think people don't do that. They don't check in and go like, am I being respectful here? Have I actually listened? Have I acknowledged my partner? Do I hear what they said? Have I heard their point of view? Or have I just gone, nah, and dismissed it and then just let it go? Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how people don't ask for what they want in the relationship, that they don't say what their needs are, and they might do it with all sorts of things like, I don't want to ask that because I don't want to upset them. I better not say that because they can't handle me. Yeah. I better not share that because they don't know how to deal with it.
They're already dealing with too much. I don't want to put more on them. They've already got what they're going through is too much, and it's like it's like you can't even see who your partner is. You just have all these stories and reasons and justifications for why they can't hear what you've got to say or can't actually take it, instead of going wow, even if they are going through stuff hey babe, I know, you can even say that, I know you're struggling right now and you're moving through some stuff. Can we actually sit down and talk about this? Is you know what I mean, you can actually use that to add to the conversation versus like a reason not to share.
You know, if you took, for example, I'm just thinking about an example there where someone comes in the door and they are, you know, I mean, I have this with Gail as well, actually, because I feel you know, Gail will talk and sometimes it's too many words for me and I'm not at a place where I can listen to that right now. So I remember in the early days of our relationship, I would react to that. I would go into some sort of childhood triggered wound and complain and say, you're always talking at me, you leave me alone, give me a chance to have a break, I need a minute. That's like disrespecting myself, disrespecting the relationship, disrespecting Gail. But when we learn to be an adult and ask for our needs, what we need, I can say something like, hey babe, I know you're super excited about this. I know you love sharing this with me.
Yeah.
I know you want to tell me all about it.
Yeah.
But just right now, I need to just take a few minutes for myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've just been a bit overwhelmed with something. So if you can give me a minute, then I'll come back and I'd love to hear all about it.
Which sometimes, guys, it's not going to be that many words. Like, that's a lot of words, Russell.
Was it?
Yeah. Like, a lot of the times it's going to be, I need a minute, or like, hang on, like...
Well, I think I was saying that because I wanted them to see the picture.
No, I understand that, but I also like, so that you guys get in real time, like if I'm in the middle of something or he's in the middle of something, it might just be, hang on a second, like, or like, nope, not right now. So, but because we've had those conversations before, we can actually say it quickly, like, just a minute, like, or like I'm doing something, like you can say that and it not land like, you know, they're just brushing you off. Like we know to, and also to observe.
Yeah, I think the more we've done it as well,
Yeah.
we've got, there's the thing about boundaries as well. Boundaries are so important, and to think about, people get rigid with boundaries. And then, so you can say that might be a boundary in some respect, but a boundary, you want to think of a boundary like it's the
distance between me and you, where I respect me and I respect you.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part that people miss. It is.
Oh, sorry, punch you in the head.
Punching you in the head is not respectful. That's a boundary, Russell.
That's an itch. So I think.
But it is the distance between you and I, and the respect. Like, how much do I respect myself, and how much do I respect another person? And
it's a white picket fence on a sunny day with roses and flowers growing around it, with a big open gate that swings open and shut freely, allowing free connection and free entry in and out. Versus an unhealthy boundary is like something that it's like a castle wall with a moat around it that you don't want to let anybody into.
Yeah.
So a healthy boundary is a much more free-flowing experience.
Yeah.
And it's the openness of the gate. A healthy boundary will create connection.
Yeah.
And is respectful of the relationship and your partner and you. If you have boundaries that are not respectful of the relationship, your partner and you, it's not a healthy boundary. It's a rule or a being right or something like that, right?
Yeah, and then I think as well, like when you're creating boundaries, you have to communicate, right? And you may not, if you put a boundary in place and it is from a place of being right, it will land as very rigid and immovable, whereas like creating a space where you can love and respect each other and kind of move with the ebbs and the flows, you allow for it's the growth of the love and the growth of the respect for each other and the relationship to evolve.
Yeah, and so I think we're giving some good points there, and I think it's easy to tell when you're, you know, communicating from a respectful place. I think it's easy to tell when the energy is controlling or parental or mothering or fathering, parenting.
Even if you say the words like, I feel like I have to ask for permission. Check yourself. Using child. Like, or like, oh, feels like you're mothering me all the time. Like, check yourself. Because even if your partner is mothering, even if your partner does need you to ask permission, right? Your reaction to that is childlike. It's like, that is not actually going to be the playing field for change to be created. It's like, well, oh wow, babe, like when you just said that, like I feel, or even if you said, I feel like I have to ask permission. And then if your partner then turns to you and says, oh my gosh, no, I just want to know what's happening. I want to make sure that like it works for everyone. Even just having that conversation is shifting from child to adult, because you're calling it out. Like if you feel, again, you feel the effect, you're part of the cause. If you feel like your partner is mothering you, chances are you're in child. If you feel like you have to seek permission, chances are you're in child.
Which is why then somebody would end up just booking something.
Not even asking.
Not even asking, because they're in child and they're like, I want to get my own way.
I'm going to get it no matter what. You can't stop me, right? It's that. And like, you think if you, like, that's like single behavior, like a single person behavior in a marriage with kids. Like that's not cool, right? Like that's not going to work. That's literally like, I'm going to force my way through and I'm going to make it happen no matter what. And not create a space where we can both like have a conversation around it. Where of course you're like, of course I'm gonna want Russell to go and do things. Of course he's gonna want me to go and do things. Of course we're gonna want to create stuff together. Like I don't want to go on an adventure if he's not coming with me. Like that's not fun. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I want to go and do things without him. But like, you know, if we're planning something, I want him to be involved.
Well, she went out the other day with her friend. She went for a hiking for how long?
For the day.
3 or 4 hours for the day, maybe even the whole day. But we talked about it. She said, I'm going to do this on this day. Is that okay? Yeah. Well, we didn't have anything else on. She said, you'll be looking after the kids. And I was like, cool, no problem.
And then ladies, remember, like, your partner's going to, like, the masculine is going to forget. So, like, even I'm like, hey.
Not all men, babe. I am not typical. Or not all. You think all men.
Most men forget.
Well, you ladies out there, you decide if your man forgets. I forgot.
I even saw it on Facebook recently. Somebody was like, my partner has still forgotten my birthday and it's 2 days later. I'm like, damn, girl, like, call the poor sucker out and put it in his diary. Stop testing. Like, just call him out. But, you know, like, even knowing that they're going to forget, this was the point. Like, I knew Russell wouldn't remember. We talked about it whenever it was that I had a conversation with my girlfriend that this is the date that we're going to go and hang out. Like, I booked that ages ago, but I know the day before, hey, just a reminder, babe, like tomorrow you've got the girls. Like tomorrow, like I'm out for the day. You're like solo parenting, which you actually didn't have to because they went and did their own thing as well.
It was kind of cool. They actually went off did their own thing. I got the house to myself and I thought how lovely it was to be in the house actually on my own. But it never happens. I actually meant to talk to you about that, to be honest with you, because it was like,
I love that.
We hardly ever get to be in the house on our own.
I know, it's such a lovely thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing.
It's such a cool thing.
I didn't mean to mention it with you because I didn't realise that I was missing it till it happened.
Yeah, no, I totally feel that. I love that, like getting to having a moment where the house is just you in it and nobody else is there intruding. No other energies are intruding on your space. But yeah, like that's love and respect. Not like waking up the next day hoping the poor sucker remembers that I'm going out and then dropping it in going, well, why don't you remember? It was in the diary. Like I told you weeks ago. Like that's how most people function and react. It's like, well, I told you weeks ago, you should remember, you should know you have the kids, you shouldn't have blah blah blah, and they shit all over their relationship and then wonder why it's a shit pile all the time. They're shitting on it.
I wanted to touch on one other point as well. It's important. We won't have time to go into it today, but just to understand that when you say she disrespects me or I'm not respected, that is a problem inside you.
That's a you problem and an internal go inside problem.
So it's no good taking from this now and going, well, she never respects me.
No.
And I'm not going to put up with it, because that's just putting the need for respect out there. Being disrespected is an internal wound, and this is not about that. So don't cross contextualize that.
Yeah.
This is about building respect in relationship and communicating like adults.
Yeah.
From an adult place, not from any other place that's mothering or child or petulant or whatever. It's and if you create a boundary which is rigid and it is, well, I don't want to be disrespected, you're the person disrespecting you. Like Gail can say whatever she wants and it's up to me whether I take that on as disrespectful or not.
Well, and I think it's right in the languaging as well. If you want to point the finger somewhere else that like, hey, they're disrespectful, they're not respecting me. I feel disrespected. The moment any of that language comes out of your mouth or comes into your thinking, the first thing you want to do is go to self. Like the first person you should be checking in this triad is self. Like, oh, hang on a second. Am I respecting myself? What are my wishes? What is it that I actually want to communicate here? Okay, am I respecting my partner? What is it that I want to communicate to them, and how do I, like, what space do I want to create where I can communicate that? And then am I respecting the relationship? Do we have a relationship where I respect me and I can communicate in a way that is open and free, and it'll be received? It may not always be received in the moment, but it's like it's heard, and then a space is available for another conversation to be had.
Let's imagine a situation where I'm triggered by something Gal said.
What? That never happens.
And I'm disrespecting myself, and I'm saying to her, you're the problem, you're always talking to me nastily, why don't you start to do things better, you're just a bitch. Let's just imagine a scenario where I say that. In that conversation, I'm being disrespectful of myself, and I am not honouring who I am because I'm triggered into a little boy wound or a childhood wound. Yeah. When I call her the name, you are a bitch, if she has a boundary up that is, I won't tolerate being called. Now, I'm not saying she should tolerate it, but I'm saying if she has a boundary up that is, I won't be called a bitch, and because of that, I'm going to not spend time with you. That's a too rigid boundary, and she's disrespecting the relationship at that point. And
disrespecting you.
And how are you disrespecting me?
Well, I feel like in that scenario, it's disrespecting you in that, like, there's no space to, like,
allow
you to be, or like to be
upset,
in triggeration,
angry,
or upset,
triggered,
or feel like you can fully express yourself. It's and I think we actually did have that scenario recently where we kind of unfolded, where I didn't even realize that I was you or I didn't realize I was triggered at the moment I actually was, and it was happening well before the moment where it looked like I was triggered, and you were triggered too, and it was like, oh, but if you don't have space or hold space for your partner to be where they're at, to me that's disrespectful of you and the relationship. Like, I have no space for anything other than what I think is right or wrong, or is or isn't, or is my boundary, or like, it's both about being right and a boundary there. Like, it's like, all of that is too rigid, which is too controlled and too.
And what it's saying is, it's saying, if from her point of view, I'm not enough to be called a bitch. I'm not good enough.
And maybe I was being a bitch in that moment.
But I don't respect myself enough to know that I'm enough. That, you know, one of the things that always amazes me in relationships is when your kid goes to school and somebody calls them names. They come home and they get upset about it, and you say to them, sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt you. And there must be an age where that stops being true for people, because we get so upset when somebody calls us a name. It's like, for children, we want to tell our children, look, it's just them calling names, just let it be water off a duck's back. But in a relationship, you're not allowed to call each other's names because it's like, I don't know, it's taboo somehow. How is that possible? How can it be at kids, sticks and stones may break their bones, but for adults that doesn't apply? So it disrespects.
Imagine if you just adopted and reframed in your relationship, like, okay, remember, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Okay, right. So if Russell's in triggeration, and guys, this is not like just like allowing shitty behavior to happen, but actually recognize that both of you are human beings, and there will be times where you're not your best version of yourself, but you have enough love and respect for yourself and the relationship and your partner that you allow them to be in whatever they're moving through. That they're not being in their best version of themselves, but you can hold space for that to happen.
And we're not promoting or condoning something here. We're just observing what happens and how people get so triggered, so stuck.
And wanting to control that. Like, I want to control that my partner never get triggered or never be unhappy or never be, always be like their best version. Well, that's an unreal reality.
Hey, babe, I noticed when we were talking the other day that you seemed to get really upset and angry at me, and when you got to that peak of your anger, you lashed out and you said something to me. You called me a name. I really was going to have a conversation with you about it, because is that really who you want to be, honey?
Like, do you really see me as a bitch?
Yeah, and is that who you want to be for yourself? I felt for you in that moment, because that's not who I know you to be. I know you to be loving and kind and a wonderful human being. But at that moment, you seemed to be very disrespectful of yourself and who you are there. You know, and you didn't seem to have love and affinity for yourself.
Yeah.
That would be a respectful conversation,
or an adult conversation
that's not triggered. Not, oh, don't you ever call me that name again. If you do, I'm not gonna spend time with you or talk to you or have conversations like that. That's not a healthy adult relationship with respect.
And I think as a future topic to
we don't really do this much, by the way, the name calling thing. I mean, we do it, but we don't do it much, right? So I'm going back in the past, we did it more. And so, but you map it onto your related and see how you do it.
Yeah. And I think I was just going to drop in there that another topic that'd be really kind of cool to touch on is the weapons of mass destruction that people bring into relationship, and the way that they use them in order to, it's like they use things in order to pay back to their partner, which in terms of creating a relationship full of love and respect, like, you don't want to be like, well, you did this, so I'm going to do that, because that in itself, that's the childlike behavior as well. That's you dropping into child, going like, well, let's do tit for tat, or you did this, so I'm going to do that. Well, you disrespected me, so now I'm going to disrespect you. It's like, is that the kind of relationship that you want to have, or do you want to have a relationship where you can actually like communicate, share with each other, be the best version of yourself for the relationship, not expect the other person to change over there, but like hold space that they will, and they'll grow and evolve together with you.
I most of all, I respect Gal for who she is and how she goes about her life, and that it's different to mine. And yes, there are some things I need to pay attention to, because she doesn't see it the same way that I see it.
Yeah.
And I respect myself enough and the relationship enough to be able to pay attention to those things without making her wrong or carrying a massive burden because of that.
Yeah.
In the same way that there are things that she needs to pay attention to that I don't do or I'm not good at.
Yeah, and it's the love and respect who they are and who they're not, and hold space for the growth and the evolution of who you are as a human being. I'm not the same person today as I was yesterday. Every day we're growing and evolving, and that's true as much in your relationship as it is in life.
I rejoice and take pleasure in the differences, and versus being angry or resentful that she doesn't do things the way that I want her to, or the way that I think she should, even though some of those things have caused me a problem over a period of time.
Yeah. So I just have a few last words for you. Love is the spark. Respect is the structure. Love pulls you together. Respect keeps you safe together. Love fuels passion, connection, and intimacy. And respect creates trust, stability, and emotional safety. And like I said earlier, love without respect is chaotic. Respect without love is empty. And together, when you've got love and respect, you have a relationship that can grow, heal, and evolve together. So ask yourself, like, what kind of a relationship do we want to create? Are we creating a space that's loving and respectful of each other? And how can I love and respect me and create a space of love and respect in our relationship? So start asking yourself bigger questions so that you can go like, where am I loving, and where am I being loving, and where am I being respectful, and where can I actually grow and evolve those?
Awesome. Great stuff.
Okay, thanks for joining us today, guys.
Yep, awesome stuff. See you again next time.